Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we will be talking about Morphe's new Fluidity foundation. We will also be trying it out on the face and we will also be doing a wear test. So first things first, I know that this foundation has been getting a lot of negative reviews. As for me, I did try on this product in store, and for me it's really difficult to find a really good foundation that matches my skin because I do have an olive undertone. So I'm also going to talk a little bit about olive undertones as well. Right, so I tried F2.50. So it said olive, and the description says that it is light medium with a yellow green undertone. So I was like, this is fucking perfect for me because I have an olive undertone. So I'm gonna go ahead and match it on my skin. I already did in store, but I'm gonna do it on video for you guys, and I'm also gonna do a wear test. So before I get into that, I want to talk about the fact that Morphe did come out with 60 different shades, and all of them have actually a variety of undertones. Very impressed with the undertones because it's not like Morphe just decided to just come up with all these different shades. Like, they actually thought about the undertones. I do know in some reviews some people were saying for the deeper that it was coming out a bit orange, and I also watched Naima Tang's review, and that foundation, as she mentioned, she said herself, was a tad bit too light. So they definitely need to get darker foundations in there. I do know that some people agree with me and think the same thing, but the only thing is some people thought that the foundation is a bit too matte. So I actually wore this foundation. I tried it on, I wore it throughout the day after I left the mall, and I didn't think it was that bad. I'll let you guys be the judge of that and let you guys see what you think of it on my face. I personally don't mind a matte foundation, but that's because I have combination skin. So before I get into that, I am going to talk about olive undertone a little bit. So like I mentioned, I'm an olive undertone, and if you're wondering if you are too, you can check out your veins and see if you're blue and green, and that will mostly mean that you have an olive undertone. So I know some people were also complaining that there was some gray, like some grayness in the foundations. If you have an olive undertone, some people actually do have a gray undertone, and I'm gonna go ahead and put pictures of celebrities that do have a gray undertone. So for them, that gray like foundation will actually work really well. And as for me, I like a little bit of green in my foundation. I actually, when I go look for a foundation, I will literally try it on my hand and see if it has a little bit of green, because that's what I need because I have olive undertone. For people who have olive skin, you'll notice that in the sunlight they tend to be a little bit more golden or a little bit more green. Like, they'll have a little bit of a golden or green hue to them. So I was really excited when I went to the Morphe store the other day and I saw that F2.50 was olive, and when I read the description it said light medium with yellow green undertones. So I'm really happy about that because a lot of people will claim to be olive, like the foundation will say for olive undertone, but it will be warm. But it will be warm or yellow, and it won't have that tint of green. So I was really happy when I saw that in the Morphe store. I was like, finally, I have found a foundation that matches me, and when I tried it on, I actually was pretty happy with it. I ended up getting actually a sample from the Morphe store rather than getting the foundation. Morphe doesn't allow you to return foundation that has already been opened or used. Alright, so I went ahead and just moisturized my face. I'm going to go in with primer right now, and I'm going with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Primer. So whenever I deal with like a super matte foundation like this, I usually use a beauty blender. So I'm going to go ahead and let me get my sample. I'm going to start off with like half of my face so you guys can kind of see, you know, the difference. So I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like I was just seeing a lot of reviews that were very negative about this foundation, and I felt like some reviews that I was watching, I could already tell that I could already see that the person was going to be negative about it even before they tried it on their skin. Like, I just felt like a lot of people that were reviewing this foundation kind of already had their made-up thoughts about it, and I just feel like there's been a lot of negative influence about this foundation before people have even tried it. Like me, like, I didn't even want to buy the full foundation bottle because I heard just so much negativity about it. But in this video, I will see if it's really as bad as everyone says it is, and I'm gonna go ahead and wear this all day long. So right now it's like 12 p.m. You can tell there's a lot of daylight in here. I'm gonna wear this for at least like 6 hours, and when I do, it's gonna be dark outside because the sun sets really early. Alright guys, so as you can tell, this foundation is so full coverage. Like, literally any imperfection I had is completely gone, which I like. I like a full coverage foundation. It is very matte. It dried on pretty quick. I had to work so fast. Like, I was just like like with my beauty blender because it dried down way faster than I thought it was going to. So this is what it looks like on the side that has foundation. And this is my side that doesn't have foundation. So with a lot of reviews that I'm seeing, it seems like a lot of people are kind of like having like the initial thought process that I'm having, like you try it on and it looks good, it's full coverage, you like it, it's matte. I mean, what can you not like about a matte full coverage foundation that's only $18, you know? But I feel like a lot of people, after they wear it for a little bit, like after a couple hours, I think a lot of people are saying that it's cracking and stuff. We will see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Alright guys, so I let that set in my skin for about 5 minutes. So this is what the foundation looks like once it's dried down and set down on my face. Don't see it oxidizing. I don't see it like turning a darker color or anything like that. It's pretty much the same exact color that I put on my face. So this is what it looks like after I let it set for 5 minutes. I don't have anything else on. I am not going to put on any more makeup. I'm not going to put on any setting spray, any powder, any concealer. I'm just going to let this be for the next 6 to 8 hours, and then I will come back. And when I do, I'm not gonna have natural light anymore, maybe a little bit more darker in here. I will have my like professional lights on though, but yeah, so this is what it looks like so far. As you guys can tell, it is a pretty good match to my body. If you guys saw in the beginning of this video, I was a little bit on the more paler side because it is winter and I do exfoliate my skin a lot, but you guys can see, you know, this matches my... It's actually reminding me to the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I wear that one in 220 and it's actually looking really similar to it right now, and even the consistency and everything, I don't know, it's very similar to me, and I actually really enjoy that foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead now and zoom in the camera and just so you guys can see what this really looks like. Alright you guys, so this is what my skin looks like super zoomed in. I'm just going to show you guys my whole entire face right now. So this is my forehead, and I tend to get super oily on my forehead, and right now it's looking very, very matte. We will see what it will look like in a couple hours though. So you see the foundation is very full coverage. But as I mentioned before, a lot of the reviews that I saw, a lot of people liked it, like first impressions, and then later on when they wore it throughout the day, that's when most people had the most problems. So I'm not going to really talk too much about the foundation right now. When I come back in 6 to 8 hours, I will do a close-up and I will talk to you guys more about it, and I will see you guys soon.
6 hours later.
Alright you guys, so it's almost 7 p.m. so it's been about 6 hours. I forgot when I filmed this. I think it was around 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. so it's been a little while now. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so you guys can really see what it looks like. But so far it isn't feeling too dry, or I did prep my skin a lot before. I used a lot of moisturizer. I also used a primer, so that might have helped. And like I mentioned, I am combination skin, so I tend to get oily in my T-zone. So I'm going to zoom in right now so you guys can see what it looks like now after wearing it after 6 hours. Okay, so this is what my forehead is looking like. Even though this is such a matte formula, I still tend to get oily in my T-zone, so you can see the oils, they want to come through, you know what I mean? So you can see what it's looking like. This is my cheeks. I'm gonna stop talking so you guys can just see what it looks like close up. Alright you guys, so like I mentioned before, I have combination skin, so I do tend to get very oily right here in my T-zone. So as you guys could see in the close-up, you could already tell that my skin was starting to get oily in those areas. And in other areas, I am very dry, like here, and sometimes here as well. So when I did zoom in, I didn't see any dry patches. I mean, I'm looking at it right now in a mirror right here, and I don't really see anything too bad about it. Alright, so I'm just gonna break it down for you guys and let you guys know my final thoughts. So the first thing is the price point is pretty good. It's $18. The packaging is nice. I don't have the foundation with me. Like I mentioned, I have a sample, but I am looking at it online. while talking about it. But yeah, so the price point I think is pretty good, and the packaging is really nice too. I have seen it in person. I did go to the store and played with it a bit, so that's pretty good. As for the shade range, it does come with 60 shades, but as I was seeing other people's reviews on, a lot of people were saying that some of the deeper shades weren't dark enough, and some of them were coming out orange, even gray, so I think they definitely need to fix that. So another thing that I think they did really good with was the undertones. Like I mentioned, I always look for a foundation that has a little bit of green in it because I'm olive skin tone, and you just don't really see that in a lot of foundations. And in this one, you could see it throughout every range. So you could see that there was a little bit of yellow green for the fair, the same thing for medium, for tan, and even deep, and for rich too. So you could see that they had a little bit of that olive skin undertone as well for that, so that was pretty good. And they had, like, even online you could see they have so many different undertones: red, peach, yellow. Like, they definitely did their research. Now what I really think about the foundation. Okay, so the foundation is full coverage. I think the best way for me to describe this is that I feel like the foundation did its job. Like for me, I just felt like the foundation did its job. Like, it did what it said it was gonna do. It's matte, and it covered up everything. Like, you can't really see that I have the red spots that I had before. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't really see any discoloration in my face. It did what it said it's supposed to do. But, so what I'm pretty much trying to say is that I just feel like my skin at the moment looks very dull with it, but I have to think about the fact that I'm literally only wearing foundation. I'm not wearing concealer, so there's nothing to brighten me underneath here. I'm not wearing powder, I'm not wearing highlight, bronzer, nothing like that. So this is literally just foundation. For me, I do feel like it looks a little dull at the moment. I'm not like super crazy about it, but honestly, this foundation did its job. It covered my face. I didn't have any problems with it, but I can definitely understand how someone with dry skin would not like this foundation, and I can understand maybe why I got a little bit of negative reviews. I will be honest, but I do feel like some reviews that I saw, I felt like some people kind of already made up their mind and just didn't like this foundation to start with. So overall, I think the foundation is pretty good. I probably would buy it again just because, one, it color matched me perfectly. Two, it completely covered everything. So I have some foundations that I literally use just like to go to the supermarket, or like do a little dumb errand, or go to the mall, or just like hang out with friends. Like, I have some foundations that I literally just use specifically for that, and then I have other foundations that I use like if I'm going out, you know, I'll use my more expensive foundations. But if I want to wear like a foundation every day, I probably would pick this up because this literally did exactly what I wanted to do. I don't know how this would look maybe 12 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours. I don't know. I'd have to do a way longer wear test. But for now, I think it looks pretty good. I honestly had absolutely no trouble with the foundation. I think it matched me pretty well. So yeah, that's my honest opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not affiliated with Morphe at all, and if I was, I would still be giving you guys my honest opinion, but I just felt like mentioning that. But anyways, make sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at beautybydreav, and leave me a comment below what you think about this foundation if you did end up picking it up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.